We are ready. Well, good morning and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living here in Visalia. This is our Sunday morning meditation time. From 10 to 10:15, you'll be able to listen to the beautiful music of Kevin Esquivel as you meditate. Everybody here in the center will be doing that. Everybody at home, I invite you to relax and go into the mystery. And as you go into that place within yourself that is the host of the Most High within you, I just invite you to take this thought into your meditation. I persevere with the strength of the Spirit within me. And I'll be back at 10:15. We'll see you then.
Welcome back again from your meditation. I invite you to return to this time, wherever you may be, easily and effortlessly. This is the time that we get ready here. We have our meet and greet here in the sanctuary,
And at home, I hope you're getting something to drink and a snack perhaps and making yourself comfortable. We'll be back at 10:30 for the rest of our service, and I think we've got a wonderful service planned for you today, as we do every week. So I look forward to seeing you at 10:30 Pacific time.
when you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. I'm on your side. Oh, when times get rough and friends just can't be found, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down. When you're down and out, when you're on the street, when evening falls so hard, I will comfort you. I'm on your side. Ooh, when darkness comes and pain is all around, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down. Sail on, silver girl. Ooh, sail on by. Your time has come to shine. All your dreams are on their way. See how they shine. Oh, if you need a friend and sailing right behind, like a bridge over troubled water, I will ease your mind, like a bridge over troubled water, I will ease your mind. I will ease your mind.
So, thank you to our wonderful musical folks. We've got Kevin on the piano, Phil on the guitar, bass, I should say, just to be clear, and Joey, who's filling in for Joe Lazama on the drums. Hope is our wonderful vocalist today. Deanna's off today. So thank you so much for opening that set. It's a beautiful song, you know, being a bridge over troubled water. And you know, I want to welcome everybody here at the center and at home, wherever you may be, on virtual technology to receive this message today, this celebration. We are a bridge over troubled water here at the Center for Spiritual Living in Visalia. And I want to say, I'm Reverend Nan Bankston. I'm the minister here, the senior minister, and it's my pleasure to welcome all of you if you're not here if you are here for the first time, and that includes you at home. So wherever you are welcome here. And welcome home to those of you who are here for the first time. We've been waiting for you. Now, it's my pleasure to get this day started. And so we have some announcements. Donna's going to do some. She's got all sorts of cool stuff to talk about.
Definitely. Good morning. Yeah, we had quite a day. I see a bunch of our crane rappers here. That's wonderful. So yesterday, we had 3 things going on. We started in the morning with yoga. Some of us were here for all 3 activities. And then we went to, in the afternoon, we started wrapping cranes. And we had tables outside because it was an outdoor art grant. We had to do everything outdoors. So we started wrapping these crane forms. And you can see all the different people that did it. Some of them, I had wrapped all of them meticulously, 1 yarn at a time. Well, some people just went wild, and they just wrapped them this way and that way. That worked just as well, and they got 3 done, one to my 1. So, and then we were also painting cranes on the sidewalk. And most of you probably came in the back, so make sure you go out and look out the front, because we have cranes on the sidewalk. We had this little boy, and he showed me, he counted them all with me. He put 20 cranes along the sidewalk in direction to our circle of cranes. And then here's our hanging of our first crane in the tree. So the whole idea here is that we're going to have this beautiful, colorful, outdoor public art. But what I discovered, is it's going to take a lot more cranes so you can notice them. So this is what some of them look like. They're just beautiful. You can see Stevie, our arts consortium, the wife of our arts consortium, put tails on hers. Cranes don't probably have tails, but that's all right. It's very interesting. And this is our circle of cranes right outside our front door. Now, this morning I go out there, and there's all this orange stuff out there the city put this morning, but we still have our wonderful circle of cranes. So, and then last night was our memorial for Marjorie Brandon. And this is a great picture. It was a huge poster up here on this page. And you notice her purse hanging on the picture? Mm-hmm. Apparently, she had a thing about always making sure she had her purse. I don't know, that's one of the stories they told me. And then the other thing, they must have shown, 10 slides of her eating ice cream.
At least. At least.
Because apparently she always had to have her ice cream. So it was such a lovely evening, and hearing all these great stories about Marjorie and all of us who knew her. And there were quite a few people seeing it on live streams too. So now we're on to our next project, which is, our annual Members and Friends Art Show. So I'm looking at all artists, painting, drawing, sculpture, macrame, whatever you do, we want to fill our gallery with your art. We do this every November and December. So get out your things, make sure that you frame them and put a wire on the back if they're going to hang. If they're sculpture, we'll put them in the shelves. And this is always a great show we're going to do. So do Sunday, October 23rd. You got a month to get them together. There's the sign-up forms are on the back. They give you all the details. You can do up to 3. You can submit up to 3 items each person. So pick up a thing on the back table and start thinking about what kind of art you want to do. Okay, I'll turn it over to Reverend Ann.
All righty. Thanks, Donna. I'll tell you, it was an event here yesterday, and during the crane thing, it was so much fun. The only thing that really could have been
totally better is if the cool weather had lasted just one more day. But we had a fellow playing guitar out there, and it was just a really nice time. And, you know, I have to say the thing about Marjorie and the ice cream is that one of the family members told me, and they did have ice cream for part of the event afterwards with the refreshments that they had. Marjorie always had to have ice cream after every meal so that it soothed her throat. It cooled her throat. That's why she had to have it. And yes, she was always wanting to know where her handbag was.
Just like Queen Elizabeth.
Yes, just like Queen Elizabeth, indeed. So we have next Saturday, on October 1st, we're going to be starting our new class. This is actually a class we've done twice before here at the center, but we have new people that have signed up for it. It's going to be very much fun. It's called the Science of Mind, Spiritual Principles and Practices, and it's a 5-week foundational class that is a really good way to know about our spiritual principles and what really happens in our philosophy and faith from an overall perspective. So if you haven't signed up already, I encourage you to do so. It'll be here in the sanctuary every Saturday for every Saturday in October. It's only 5 weeks. And the only fee that there is for it, the class, the workbook's free. My time is to help you learn, and and you get materials free. This thing called You, if you don't have it, will also be included in your thing. But you do have to. There is a $45 certificated fee that we send to home office that keeps track of all of the classes that you take here, and it's a wonderful thing. They didn't used to make it mandatory, and now they do, and it's a much better arrangement because a lot of times people come in, they take a class, and they think, I'm never going to need this certificate. I'm not going to go on to do anything else. And then 2 or 3 years down the line, they find that they'd like to be a practitioner, maybe go more deeply into the teaching, and then they can't find their certificates. So we now have mandatory certification for all the certificated classes. And that is all. $45, it's a good deal. You could spend more than that every week on almost anything now. So I hope to see all of you there. Next Sunday, big event, we've got the town hall meeting. We moved it up from October 23rd to next Sunday because we have many things to talk about. And it's going to be potluck and birthday cake also because it's the first Sunday. And we will... we're encouraging all the members to come because there may be some items that we'll want to do voting on. We're not sure yet, but it would behoove every member to be here that can be here next week. So our book of the month for October is The Art of Abundance. There will be 2 copies out in the bookstore next week. It's a book by Dennis Merritt Jones. Outstanding book. And next month, a little sneak preview, is that we will be living Everyday Wonder with Finances. Just perfect timing, I would say. So we will have the Art of Abundance book, and the review for that will be in the e-newsletter that we have. If you haven't signed up for that, there's a place at the back table to sign up with your email so that you can get a newsletter every week, or every month rather, or when we do special ones to find out what's happening. The October magazines are also for sale in the bookstore already. And today, the fundraising committee is meeting after service, so I highly recommend that you stay around after. They're going to be planning, they're going to review a couple of things from the Peace Crane event, and then we're going to be planning the Marjorie Brandon Award event, which happens every year in November. It's an award to artists in this town. Well, actually, I think it's the county, isn't it? Yeah, it's the county. It's not just Visalia, so it's Tulare County. For people who have contributed the most in the arts and to all of the community growth and well-being. It's a very special award. Previously, we've given it to mostly musical artists. This year, it's going to go to an artist here in town who's done many, many things, Buddy Jones, and I think some people will know who that is and will realize that it's really going to a fine person for this. So, yoga is on hiatus now until October 22nd. Dina went away. She's on vacation, so she's on hiatus. So there you go. That'll start in October. And I do think that concludes our announcements for today. So I have the inclusivity quote this week. We'll go on to that. And our inclusivity team every week recommends a quote for the Sunday service. Our inclusivity team focuses on inclusivity and celebrates and honors diversity as we come together. We've made a lot of progress in providing a more inclusive center here with our website changes and different things that we've offered, and that's the goal of the inclusivity and diversity team. So this week, Janice Lehman, who's on the team and has been forever and ever, amen, chose this quote from Oscar Wilde, who was quite a famous playwright and poet. And so Oscar wrote, "Without order, nothing can exist. Without chaos, nothing can evolve." And now I think I get to introduce our practitioner from Barbados. Was Sonia able to join us today? No, she couldn't join us? Oh, well, she had sent the Zoom link to the center email. So I'll tell you what we'll do. I know that she may have been waiting for you to connect, and I'll hear about that just to verify that everything happened. I don't want to try to bring her in now. We'll just continue with the continuity of the service. Pardon? There should have been an email that she sent out at the end of the week. We'll deal with that. We don't have to go into all the technicalities right now. There's also a situation, as we know, that has been in the Caribbean with the storms that have been coming through, so we weren't sure that she was going to be able to have the power or the technology. Probably they would have it on the island of Barbados because they typically have pretty good service there, but they may have other issues, connectivity. I don't know that's the case. She will join us next month, I know. So I will get that straightened out. So in the meantime, let us just move to our affirmation. And if you could put the affirmation up again. So our affirmation this week, and I'm going to say it first, and then you can say it with me, and everybody at home, you say it too. I persevere with the strength of the Spirit within me. Let's say it all together now so everybody at home can hear you. I persevere with the strength of the Spirit within me. And that's a beautiful, beautiful affirmation if you think about it. It's the strength of Spirit within. And so now I'd like to do an opening affirmative prayer for us here just to begin the other part of our service. And so in this moment, I just want to bring to mind that one infinite loving presence, whatever we may call it, for this purpose today, I'm going to call it the living Spirit, exists in, through, and as all creation. It is one with me. I am one with it. It is in every creation. In all manifest form, it exists within all of it. And that divine essence guides, directs, supports, and loves every creation, regardless of whether it's the rocks, the trees, people, animals. That love is always the foundation of that infinite presence. And that presence also has a power, and that power is something that we have within us that we can use for good whenever we choose. And today I choose love. I choose the power of love to direct and guide this service, and I know that this is a blessed time in the mind of that living presence. And knowing that this is so, I bless this service. I call it good. I call it very good. I bless everyone at home and here, and so it is. And now we have some more music. So, if our musical folks would go back to this. Now this, you've done this. I know you've done it. I had conversations with people this morning that they've never heard it, but I would care to bet you some of you have done this before. So you watch and see what Hope is doing, and this has hand signs with it. It's not the face of God. It is I'm So Grateful by Karen Drucker. And so watch now, and the words will be up there. I'll be doing it too. So the thing is that the sides, when you go left to right, can be a little wonky for everybody. Everybody sing at home, too. This affirmation, by the way, a beautiful affirmation for all of us.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me. Gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude Gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 You go before me. Gratitude before me. Behind. Gratitude behind me. Gratitude to the left of me. Gratitude to the right of me. Gratitude above me. Gratitude below me. Gratitude within me. Gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 Gratitude before me. Gratitude behind me. Gratitude to the left of me. Gratitude to the right of me. Gratitude above me. Gratitude below me. Gratitude within me. Gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 I'm so grateful.
Y'all can stand up if it's easier.
Gratitude behind me. Gratitude to the left of me. Gratitude to the right of me. Gratitude above me. Gratitude below me. Gratitude within me. Gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 I'm so grateful.
You know, one of our basic spiritual principles is here is the practice of gratitude. And gratitude is a powerful, powerful practice that brings us closer to the reciprocal flow of the divine. Not really part of my talk, but it's a little added on that you get today for free. So there you go. Well, good morning again, and welcome to our last Sunday service in September. Boy, this month, I don't know about you, but this month has been moving fast for me. And today, we actually conclude our monthly theme of living everyday wonder with work. And my title today for my talk is Failure, Fertile Ground for Success. Now, while this might apply to our careers or occupations, there may be a higher meaning. And you know, interestingly enough, today's message coincides with Judaism's new year of Rosh Hashanah that starts today. It is one of Judaism's holiest days, meaning head of the year or first of the year. And the festival begins on the first day of Tishri, the seventh month of the Hebrew calendar, which falls during September or October on our calendar. Rosh Hashanah commemorates the creation of the world and marks the beginning of the days of awe, a 10-day period of introspection and gratitude, forgiveness, that culminates in the Yom Kippur holiday, also known as the Day of Atonement. Now, Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur are the two high holy days in the Jewish faith tradition. Robert Bank, CEO of American Jewish World Service, notes, the sound of the shofar, which is a horn that they use, the sound of the shofar, the ancient alarm, rouses up us from indifference, moves us to action, and renews our conviction to keep going despite seemingly insurmountable challenges. The shofar inspires us to rise above despair and embrace the promise of a better world. Rabbi Brett Hirschfield explains this: Rosh Hashanah is about relationships, whether between individuals and God in whom they believe, communities and the traditions which define them, or simply between individuals. Whether any God or tradition is part of their lives, it's all about sustaining relationships which sustain us and help us do the same for others. If we're considering success or failure, it might be useful to consider those words of wisdom about how we live our lives as a measure of our success. Now, I don't know about you, but I always was told that success was either money or power or all of those things. And so, maybe not. Now, failure means there is something to be learned. Now, I always thought failure was just the worst thing in the world that could happen to you. If you failed, you are nothing. Well, in short, failure points to the possibility that there is always something more, better, and blessed ahead. And in our spiritual tradition, we know that the divine intelligence of spirit, universal consciousness, God, whatever we want to call it, is filled with infinite possibilities. And sometimes failure just shows up at the right moment. It can be a chance to reevaluate and come back stronger with better reasoning. Or, from the perspective of Rabbi Freeman, the most important renewal of life is that which occurs on Rosh Hashanah, because that is when all life of the previous year returns to its essential source, and a new life, such as was never known before, emerges from the void. Now, certainly, and without any intent to misappropriate sacred traditions of Judaism, this might be a perspective we could appreciate when we are experiencing what we perceive as failure, because there's always a new beginning. There's always an opportunity to return to source. When we err in our endeavors and think we have failed, perhaps it's just a calling from the Most High within to return to our source and a new evolution of being. Now, in our philosophy, our faith, we understand that principle or spirit is not bound by precedent. Now, that means that spirit is never bound by anything before. So any choices we made before, we can always make a new choice. We are not required to make that same choice over and over, nor is that choice impacting the current choice. So as Dr. Holmes says, we should confidently expect a greater good than we have ever experienced when we make a new choice based on current life experience results. He notes in his book, The Spiritual Universe in You, and he wrote so many books, developing confidence in ourselves, in our ability to meet and handle all undesirable situations requires that we must have confidence in that something which is greater than we are. That something which is greater than we are. Then we will have spiritual self-reliance. And when this is done, the lesser must always submit to the greater. Weakness will give way to strength. Despair will turn to hope. Hate will become love. Failure will become success. And sickness will transform into health. The action that takes place moves in harmony, love, beauty, warmth, and order, transforming all that is unlike itself. Now, we all experience success and failure in life on some level, in some ways. And just as life sometimes teaches us this idea of not to allow success to go to one's head, we are wise not to allow failure to consume our hearts. The truth about failure is that it does not mean that our idea may have been flawed or invalid or that the dream just wasn't good enough. And it certainly doesn't mean that we are flawed or not good enough either. We can know that sometimes things just aren't going to go as planned, and that's perfectly okay. Sometimes they just don't. So whether we're career-minded people or individuals making choices about how we participate in other life work, including our relationships, the divine wisdom within us understands how to fail forward. Now that means not giving up when things don't work out. When failure seems inevitable, the secret to moving forward is cultivating a sense of everyday wonder as a guide and a constant companion. Have you ever considered that this thing that we call failure shows up as an opportunity at just the right moment, even if we may not see it right then? It can be a chance to reevaluate, rework, adjust our course, and often it makes it easier for us to attain our goal, outcome, or intention. And, sometimes our failure is actually perfect success, as Marie von Ebner-Eichenbach notes. She says, even a stopped clock is right twice every day. And after some years, it can boast of a period of very long series of successes. We're not stopped clocks. We're always progressing. We're always growing in consciousness, learning to live in new ways and improved ways. We're innovators using infinite intelligence to create, even in the face of seeming failure. Clarissa Pinkola Estes writes in Women Who Run with the Wolves, though fairy tales end after 10 pages, our lives do not. We are multi-volume sets. Now remember that, multi-volume sets, I've had at least 35 volumes that I know of. In our lives, even though one episode amounts to a crash and burn, there is always another episode awaiting us, and then another. There are always more opportunities to get it right, to fashion our lives in the ways we deserve to have them. So don't waste your time hating a failure. Failure is a greater teacher than success. Listen, learn, go on. That's what we're here doing with this tale. We are listening to its ancient messages. We are learning about deteriorative patterns so we can go on with the strength of one who can sense the traps, the cages, and the baits before we are upon them or caught in them. And what's more important even is that infinite loving spirit, God, the universe, whatever we choose to call it, that one infinite loving source of all life never, ever, ever sits in judgment of anything that we do or don't do. Never. We do that to ourselves. Spirit does not judge us. It does not. But we do that, contrary to whatever we may have been taught about that. We do that to ourselves by using arbitrary comparative measures of what we've been taught to believe success should be, right? What we have been taught to believe it should be. Now, there's the key word, should. When we start evaluating our self-worth and our value in that way, we're just shoulding all over ourselves. Now, it's not as messy or as smelly as the other S word we might use, but it's still a practice we don't need to engage in. Sometimes the gift of failure is not to make success certain, but to show us how to fail. There are ways to fail with grace, sincerity, and possibility. A single instance of failure can teach us more than a lifetime of success. And wonder allows us to detach from the outcome and explore with greater curiosity and trust as the process unfolds. Now, additional benefit comes from the hidden element of resilience, that accompanies failing. Each failure offers feedback on how to perfect an idea, a task, or a project, or a relationship. The work of the work actually is the willingness to continue to move forward even when things don't happen according to our plans. As a spiritual practice, wonder can show us the divine plan behind and within everything. It can make the distance between where we are and where we want to go that much more exciting. And the willingness to fail forward can make work a beautiful, crazy, and exciting journey. So fail forward, and fail forward often. Don't be afraid of it. Potentially, there is more to gain from failure than there is to lose. Failing is absolutely fertile ground for success. It means we are growing, we're productive, and we're willing to adapt. So, beloveds, go forward knowing success and failure are akin to one another. The real work is determining what's next. Wonder allows us to move beyond the stigma of failure into the wonder of, ooh, what if? What if? No matter what, keep going. Don't give up. Stay in that mystery of what if. You know, whether we look to the wisdom of Scripture in the Christian Testament, of 2 Corinthians 12:9 that says, "My grace is sufficient for you, for power is made perfect in weakness." Or if we look at the sacred Hindu scripture of the Song of Ashtavakra that says, "All things arise, suffer, change, and pass away. This is their nature." And when you know this, nothing perturbs you, nothing hurts you, you become still. Or even if we take a look at the humor of the late comedian George Carlin, who always asks some very interesting questions. He asked, if you try to fail and succeed, which have you really done? Well, the one thing we can be absolutely certain is this, regardless of how we look at it. We are the beloved creations of a single source that loves us just the way that we are. And as we say, as we close our service, just the way that we are. That presence is also power, and that power is ours to use, to change, and choose again and again and again as we fail forward. To remember to rise like the phoenix in gratitude for all of our experiences is the key. You know, we have the opportunity to sail into the mystic of the universe and navigate a sea of infinite possibilities. And everything that we need to know is available to us through the mind of God within us. It's not out there. We don't have to send a telegram and say, is this okay? Have I got it? We don't have to do that. We have but to turn within to know that we are never alone. We are always fully supported and loved beyond all our human concepts. We are always at choice and constantly growing, individually and collectively. So when we approach our perceived failures, I invite us to recall the words of Lydia Yuknovich from her TED Talk, The Beauty of Being a Misfit. I just love that. Even at the moment of your failure, right then, you are beautiful. You don't know it yet, but you have the ability to reinvent yourself endlessly. That's your beauty. So I invite each of us to live our lives, to keep reinventing ourselves and our experiences with that love and that gratitude, to be aware and wonder, and to know that you are always on our path of beautiful, you are always on the path of beautiful spiritual evolution, always. And as I always say, know for sure that love always prevails. So it is. Oh my goodness. The elements in the air have been quite generous with my pollen, my nasals. So I just want to take a little sip here and a breath, and we're going to do a short prayer to affirm that in fact we are living in that universal intelligence, that we are all individual creations of that one infinite loving power and presence. I know that Spirit is all that I am. I know that it is all that everyone is. I know that I am one with it always and forever, inseparable. And that power, that presence, that love lifts me up. And as it does this for me, I know that it is true for everyone here, everyone who is in virtual world, and everyone who is beyond the sound of my voice, who may hear this someday, to know the truth of the love that exists within you, that is there for you to turn to whenever you choose, for that support, that guidance, that infinite intelligence and divine wisdom that is simply waiting for you to knock at that door and receive. Just simply waiting in quiet repose for you to turn within and say, okay, I'm failing forward. I need to know just a little bit more. And I trust with all my heart that no one ever goes unheard by that loving Spirit. I know that from the bottom of my heart. And knowing that this is so, I bless each and every person with that same understanding, that same love, that same beauty, as we all walk our paths individually and collectively, growing in love, in peace, in joy, and in freedom. For that's what we were really put here for, so that Spirit could enjoy life through us and experience it through each of us. And for this and so much more, I am so grateful. And I simply release my word into the law, knowing that it is already done, and together we may affirm it by saying, and so it is. And now we have really special music. This song is one of my favorites. It is so special to me, and I think y'all are going to like it. You've heard it before.
We were born before the wind, also younger than the sun. Yeah, the bonnie boat was one as we sail into the mystic. Hark now, hear the sailors cry. Smell the sea and feel the sky. Let your soul and spirits fly as into the mystic. When that foghorn blows, I'll be coming home. Ooh, when that foghorn blows, I wanna hear it. Don't have to fear it, and I wanna rock your gypsy soul, just like in way back in those days of old. And magnificently we will fall into the mystic. Yeah. Oh, oh, oh. that foghorn blow, you know I was coming home. Ooh, when that foghorn blow, I gotta hear it. I don't have to fear it, and I wanna rock your gypsy soul, just like way back in those days of old. And together we will fall into the mystic, yeah, yeah. Ooh. Too late to stop now.
Yeah. That's kind of my own personal code word for moving in with spirit, you know, into the mystic. So thank you for that. Thank you to Hope. Thank you to Kevin and Phil and Joey. And a special thanks to Dawn for filling in on the Bridge Over Troubled Water. It was so nice. I want to say a big thank you to our AV folks, Donna and Dino and Stan. Those are the folks that get us to you every week, so they're very important. And now it's time for our conscious giving portion of our service. So I'd just invite you to take your gift and bring it to your heart, and let's see the prosperity affirmation. Now, if you're at home, you can go onto our website and donate over the donate button that's on our website. If you don't like using electronic devices for such things, you can send your check, money order, don't send cash, to the Center for Spiritual Living, Visalia, 117 South Locust Street in Visalia, 93291. And so if you just join me in saying this prosperity affirmation, it's very important. Every time we speak a word, we are having that vibrational energy of spirit moving through the reciprocal nature of the universe, returning that which we give 100-fold. So, my abundance is the demonstration of my spiritual success. Let's do it again. Everybody at home? My abundance is the demonstration of my spiritual success. You see, you can't fail, because what goes out must come back and be returned 100-fold. So I know that as these gifts are given, they are gifts of love, that is the pure spirit love that moves through each person. There are gifts of time, talent, and treasure. The treasure helps us maintain all of the facilities here to do this production every Sunday. And so all three are very important, and everyone gives of their own personal abilities. We don't have requirements. We just know that everyone receives in turn that same spiritual love in a form that is perfect for them. And I am ever so grateful for all the gifts that have sustained this center for such a long time now, through some of the more difficult COVID times that were certainly challenging. And so I bless these gifts. I give thanks for them. I know they do good work here in the center. They do good work in our community, and they do good work in the world. And so it is. And now we get to this thing where we do the peace song. So we'll get all down on the floor and we stand in a circle. And if you want to, you can. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to. We usually hold hands. It's totally up to anybody that wants to do this. This is a get to, not a have to at this center. Well, come on down. It's a perfect. It's a perfect.
Hit it, Boaz. The words are on the screen, and they're out there. You'll be able to see it.
Now there is peace on earth. I know it begins with me. Now there is peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as Creator, united all are we. Now we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me, and this is the moment now. With every breath I take, this is my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Now there is peace on earth, and it has begun with me.
Okay, now this is the fun part, you know. This is where we get ready for this next week. So if you feel like it, you can say after me, something wonderful is happening through me right now. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It's this thing called life. Now, life is in my mind. And life is in my body. And it's in the body of my affairs. I think it. And I feel it. Oh, and I love it. I love it just the way that it is. And just the way that it is not. And so we say, thank you, life. We'll see you next time. Have a wonderful week, everybody. Stay for fundraisers if you're going to.
Oh, yeah. We're never gonna know I'll be coming home. Ooh, we're never gonna know. Wanna